This video is going to be for the analysis on Friday, this upcoming trading session. So let's get started. There are several things that I would like to highlight, which is why I decided to make a short video instead of typing it out, because it requires a lot of side explanation, I guess. Alright, let's start it off with the indices. I am probably not going to touch the indices because it's decoupled. We have Nasdaq lagging behind YM and ES. The second thing is that the structure is just not very clear for Nasdaq. And then it's Friday, so if ES is to form a new high on Friday, that's gonna be the high of the week, alright? Unless we close right at the high, which doesn't usually happen. So because of that, I would anticipate that Nasdaq is not going to take out Thursday's high and it forms some sort of SSMT between Nasdaq and ES, or better it would be SMT between the sessions with ES versus YM, because right now both of them are correlated except for Nasdaq. So if SSMT can be formed between ES and YM, then we can potentially look for a shorting opportunity back into the range to close out the week, TGIF. And then for Nasdaq, not too sure whether it wants to follow through towards the upside or it just wants to crash even lower as, or should I say, after ES and YM forms the SMT. So because of this probability or the high level of uncertainty, I would prefer to stay away from indices. Forex, on the other hand, seems much more promising. Okay, we have the Euro and British Pound forming SSMT on the previous day's high between Wednesday and Thursday. And then we have a second stage of SSMT with the London of British Pound taking out Asia, whereas we don't have the Euro doing the same. So that provided the sell-off that happened yesterday. And then right now we are in Friday, so I would anticipate a continuation of the sell-off. I don't need SMT with continuations. It's only when it's predicting the high of the day or high of so and so, then SMT comes into play. Other than that, I don't need SMT to validate a move. So right now what I need Euro and British Pound to do is they should be able to respect yesterday's dealing range and stay below 50%, best case scenario below 25%. So if we take a look at the yesterday's range from high to low, let me just put out the grading. We are right about 25%. So best case scenario, it breaks down from here and then we get some form of stop hunts during the midnight open. Okay, if price can just consolidate around this area and then midnight comes up to stop out or trades into 50%, that would be more than enough, because trading above 50% would open up the possibility of a reversal into the highs up here for Euro, and potentially we might see some weakness on British Pound. The reason why I say that we might see some weakness towards the upside for British Pound is because of the Euro versus British Pound chart. We are approaching a weekly bullish fair value gap, so that might form the low of the week. Okay, so if we drop into, we changed it to weekly time frame. Look at this fair value gap right here. This has a very high potential to form the weekly low, this candle's low, and then close above. That is totally possible and very highly likely to happen. And so if we are to drop further and then we retrace, British Pound is not going to get the strength to trade higher, but Euro is going to trade higher, right? So we have to manage this properly, because I think that the tricky part of this is that we're trading at the last day of the week. That is why it's better to look for reversals, right? Like how it's happening for indices. It's better that we look for the same thing to occur for the forex as well. It's all based on power of 3. So going back into the hourly time frame, a stop hunt on a 1 hour candle is more than enough, and then right now what we have to do is to wait for the change in the state of delivery on the 50 minutes to confirm. For euro, as long as it doesn't form a new low over here, which means as long as we don't take out Thursday's low, I would prefer to short euro, because it's gonna trade lower and then euro is gonna melt lower. However, in a case whereby it has already taken out Thursday's low, then I would prefer to short British pound instead. Okay, so this is the game plan for today. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you again.